All right. Without further ado, let's have our conversation with the first speaker. Hello, Neng Tia. How's your
Hello,
life?
Attar. I'm good. I'm in a great condition.
Okay, thank you. If I can ask, recently, what do you do?
I've been busy with my study, and I also have another activities out of my college. So yeah, I think that's all.
Okay, thank you, Neng Tia. Because our topic today is about morphology. What is it about?
Okay, thank you for Attar, who has given me a time to speak up. And let me give you a share screen here so that we can clearly see the material. Have you guys seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's clear.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So first of all, I would like to introduce myself as the first speaker here. My name is Neng Tia Mutiah, and I will guide you guys for some subtopics that we will discuss in the show. So we're gonna talk about word sentences and dictionaries. But first of all, I'm going to introduce you about the study of our course, that is morphology. First, what is morphology? As you can see here, morphology is the study of the internal structure of words. And there are some definitions about morphology, but I took two references here. First, in linguistics, morphology is the study of words, how they are formed, and their relationship to other words in the same language. It analyzes the structure of words and parts of words such as stems, root words, prefixes, and suffixes. And the second definition, it comes from Martin Haspelmath. She's a professor in linguistics. He said in his book that morphology is the study of systematic variation in the form and meaning of words. By this meaning, it can be inferred that words have a system, and this system is connected to another system, or in other words, each word is connected to other word. And then, after we know about what is morphology, I'm going to introduce you about the object of this study. So the name of this object of morphology is morpheme. And as the previous learning in the previous week, we have learned about this. And Mr. Djati said that morpheme is the smallest unit of language that has meaning and cannot be divided anymore. And morpheme has two types. The first one is free morpheme. It is a morpheme that can stand alone into a word without being bound by another morpheme. So this kind of morpheme is independent. It can stand alone without any other morpheme. And the second one is bound morpheme. It is a morpheme that cannot stand alone because it must be bound with other morphemes to become a word. To make it clearer, I will give you the example. Here I give two examples. The first one is the word unspeakable. And unspeakable, this is one word, but this one word consists of three morphemes, namely un, which can be interpreted as not, the bond morpheme, and then speak, the root or free morpheme, and able, bound morpheme, which can be interpreted as can be done. So the construction in this unspeakable word is bound, free, bound. And then the second example is the word dogs, or in Indonesian, it means anjing, anjing. And dogs consist of two morphemes, namely the word dog as a free morpheme that can stand alone without the s, the bound morpheme one. All right. After we know about the introduction of morphology, now let's move to the main topic of our discussion. And it has 5 subtopics. And the first one is words as meaningful building blocks of language. So what does it mean? Words are meaningful units that can build up a language. We are inclined to feel that sentence is word that strung together meaningfully. If we want to communicate with each other, then we will use language as a bridge, right? We can use Indonesian language, English language, Sundanese, Betawi. I'm sorry if that is a language or not. I'm not sure. But yeah, there's so many language in these words. And those language is formed by words, the meaningful words, so that we can understand what other people mean. For example, I say, I love you to someone that I love. So he can understand what I mean because I make a sentence with meaningful words. So that is how the words is a building blocks of language. But we have to remember that that is not to say a sentence must always consist of more than one word. One word commands such as go or sit, although they crop up relatively seldom in everyday conversation or reading, are not in any way odd or un-English. For examples, here the conventional commands such as action. We can commonly find it in shooting aria when the director asks the actors to start acting. It is only one word, right? Action. But we understand what it means just like it is a sentence. I hope you guys can get what I mean. And for the next example is item on shopping list. For example, we are required for shopping by our mom, and then she gave us a shopping list, and the note is written like potatoes, carrots, eggs, and so on. Although they are formed with one word, but we can understand what it means. We should buy the potatoes, and then we should buy the carrots, and we should buy the eggs, right? And for the last example is warning shots. When we saw a big fire and we want to warn people to stay away and to be careful with it. So we say fire, fire, and we can understand what it means. We have to stay away from that area so we are not harmed, right? I think that's all about the words as building block of a language, but it has some addition. A word is not just a building block of sentence. It is a building block with meaning that is unpredictable, or at least sufficiently unpredictable that learners of English and even sometimes native speaker may need to consult a dictionary in order to discover it. Words So what it means by uh, these sentences. For example, we are an amateur in English, and someday there is someone uh, speak to us, you are gorgeous, but we never hear the word gorgeous. We didn't know if she insult us or if she compliment us, right? So that is what it means that word is unpredictable. We have to look into a dictionary to find what it means. Ah, she apparently she compliments me. So that is what it means by gorgeous. And we can see the spelling and the pronunciation as well. Words are units of language which are basic into two senses, both in that they have meanings that are unpredictable, so must be listed in dictionaries, as what I mentioned before. And then the second one, in that they are the building blocks out of which phrases and sentences are formed. Because words is a meaningful one, then those words can make phrases and sentences. Okay, this is the second subtopic of our discussion, words as types and words as tokens. Token having a reference of individual occurrence of type of the words. Token is a number of words or single type. If you want to know how many tokens in one sentence, you must count all words although there are the same words in one sentence. For example, I love you more than I love him. In here, there are 8 words. So the tokens are 8. I think this is the easiest theory that we can learn. So, for example, as it is written, I love you more than I love him. It has 8 words. Then this sentence has 8 tokens. And then what does it mean by words as type? It has a little different meaning. Type is a number of words also, but not all word is a type. When there are more than one the same words, we only count one. For example, you have to love yourself before you love the other. In the sentence, there are 2 you and 2 love words. For each the same words, we only counted 1. Then this sentence has 7 words as type. I think that's all my explanation about some subtopic of this topic. And for the next one, I will give it back to the master of ceremony.
Okay, thank you for Neng Tia who has been explained about morphology. Now, it's time to switch to the second speaker. Are you ready, Nauriyah Andini?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, Nauriyah Andini, could you continue to explain for us?
Okay, sure. Of course. Okay, guys. At this time, I want to explain about word with predictable meanings. Next. So sometimes word has meaning that predictable. That is meaning that can be worked out on the basic of the sounds and make them up. Uh, so I has to I has a few type of the word with predictable meaning. The one is onomatopoeic. Onomatopoeic is some word whose sound seems to reflect their meaning fairly directly. For example, do you know a big lizard? Yes?
Yes, I know.
Komodo,
Yes,
komodo.
I know.
Or no, big lizard in Indonesia, it's called toke, right? Why in Indonesia that lizard called toke? Because the toke reproduce sounds like tokte, like that. So many people in Indonesia call that animals toke. And then the second example is embe. Do you know embe?
Yes, I know
Of
Mbe.
course, you know
Yes.
it.
Okay, embe is sheep, right? But some people in Indonesia call sheep embe because it has sounds like this, embe, like that. So many people in Indonesia, many people in Indonesia call sheep embe. Uh, Another example, SL seems to reflect meaning. Slip, slide, slop, slurp are called as sound symbolism because it has same what is it? Word in the front like that, S dan L. Next. So, so easier to predict sound symbolism meanings than the real word. For example, is gingo trees reproduce daciously. The word that we can predict is daciously. Maybe some of you didn't know what is daciously. Daciously is the word from biological language, and the meaning is having male and female flowers on spirit planes. So maybe you can find the meanings in dictionaries. For the example, daciously is an example of word that although not brand new, uh, so could as well be brand new so far as most reader of this book are concerned. So in Indonesia, it has meaning pohon ginkgo memproduksi berkembang biak dengan menghasilkan putik jantan dan betina. So next, for the next topic is noun word with unpredictable meanings. Next. So it is possible for a linguistic item to be a basic building blocks of syntax. The item is clearly not itself a sentence or phrase, and yet to have a meaning that is predictable. Consider these two sentences from the point of view of learner of English who is familiar with the usual meanings of the word expenditure, notes, and tabs. So I have two examples. The first example is I keep notes all of my expenditure. It has mean keep note in Indonesia. It has meanings like saya menulis semua pengeluaran. Keep is the meaning is menulis like that. And the second example is I keep tabs on all my expenditure. The keep in this sentence, it has meaning like pay attention. So it has in Indonesia saya memperhatikan semua pengeluaran saya. So maybe some people know this what is it? This sentence like idiom. Do you know idiom? So we cannot search the word in dictionaries, but we can research about this word like that. Next. So idiom is combination of words that having meaning owing to its common usage. Idiom are enormously are various in length, structure, and function. For the example, verb, kick the bucket. Kick the bucket has meaning die. And then the second example is idiom as noun. For example, dark house, dark horse. The meaning from the dark horse is competitor whose range is unknown. Akin to idioms, but distinguishable from them are phrases is which individual words have colonically restricted meanings. Consider the following phrases. So this is I have a few examples like white wine. White wine is not a wine who has white colors, but in real life, white wine has clear colors. So, but many people call that wine white wine like that. Seems like white coffee. White coffee is not coffee that has white colors, but maybe this coffee has a brighter color than black coffee. Like next, in a broad sense, they may count as idiomatic because the meaning that white has in them is not its usual meaning. Rather, when collocated with wine, coffee, noise, and man. If a typical idiom is praised, then a word with collocationally restricted meaning is smaller than a typical idiom. That provokes the question whether they're a linguistic item with unpredictable meanings that are larger than phrases. The answer is yes. Many proverbs are fall into the categories. Proverb. Do you know proverb? Proverb in Indonesia it's called pribahasa. Pribahasa. So proverb is a traditional saying, syntactically a sentence whose conventional interpretation differs from what is suggested by literal meaning of the word it contains. Next. So for example, it's no use crying over split milk. Maybe in Indonesia more famous like nasi sudah menjadi bubur. It has same meaning with it's no use crying over split milk. So it has a meaning after an accident, one should look to the future rather than waste time wishing the accident had not happened. Spilling milk is one kind of accident, but in the proverb at the sentence above it is used metaphorically to stand for any accident. What is important about proverb is that they constitute a further example of a linguistic unit whose use and meaning are in some degrees unpredictable, but which is larger than a word. Next. So the last topic is conclusion, word versus lexical items. Next. The point one is pointed out that we tend to think of word as possessing two characteristics. One, they are the building blocks for word and phrases. Number two, they have meaning that are unpredictable and so must be listed in dictionaries. And then point number two, the two characteristics don't always go together. For this reason, it will be helpful to have distinct term for items with each of the two characteristics. We can use lexical item for item with characteristic and reserve for word item with characteristic. Next. Sometimes we mean there are some words that are not lexical item and some lexical item that are not word. It means there are not really the traditional view of word as things that are listed in dictionaries is entirely wrong. Many words have meaning that are predictable. There is nevertheless a tendency for these meanings to lose motivation over time. The word which does not start out as a lexical item may endure a curse become one. Selected the dictionaries list to contain the lexical item or word or contain both of them influence the most practiced dictionary to reflect a compromise. Some more generous than other in listing idiom. Some are more generous than other in listing word with entirely predictable meaning. I think enough from me. I'm so sorry if there are many mistakes. So, uh,
Okay,
okay.
thank you very much to Nauriyah Andini for the explanation. Yeah, after we listen the discussion about words, sentences, and dictionaries from the two speakers, next we will move to the Q&A session. If you have any questions, raise your hand. We will give to change for those of you who want to ask.
Attar, I think we should change the link, okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay, please click the next link because we have out of time here. Thank you.
Raise your hand. We will give to change for those of you who want to ask. Okay, Putri Nabila. Okay, Putri Nabila, you first.
Okay, thank you for giving me the opportunity to ask you guys question. So I still have a question about idiom. In the PowerPoint, it is said that if a typical idiom is a phrase in a word with a collocationally restricted meaning is smaller than a typical idiom. Now my question is, what is a word with a collocationally restricted meaning? Like, what is what is that? Like, I've just heard that now. So that's my question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you from Putri Nabila to the ask for the ask. Next, Muiz Mahdi. If you have any questions.
Okay, thank you for the host for giving me the opportunities to ask. Um, Before I give my questions, let me introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Muiz Mahdi Fikia. So my question is from Neng Tia. She gives the example about morphem is like a fire. Yeah, fire. I mean, if we hear fire in street, some street, then there are house is burning at this time. So we know there are house is burning, but in some conditions, if we there are in the war fields, fire means the it's a bomb. It's a bomb. So my question is, how we know the connections or the bridge? How we building the bridge between words and meaning? Because yeah, I don't know. When I go to Cirebon and I say ciao ciao. The example is bananas. Okay, ciao chow in Sundanese people is bananas, but in Japanese is gedang. Chow is gedang, and there are different meanings of bananas in with different language. But my question is, how we building the difference meaning between words and meanings? Okay, that's my questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for Muiz Mahdi for the questions. And now we switch to the two speakers to discuss these questions. Please give a time to the two speakers.
Attar, when you will show the performance, Attar, while they are thinking about the answer, probably.
Yes, I will show the performance from the group 2.
I'm sorry, sir.
Yes.
I am the person who will give this share screen, but I can't because it's still restricted.
Okay, wait. Let me open it. Yes, you can do it now.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, while we are waiting for the answer, we will watch a performance from the group 2. Happy watching!
Maaf, belum ke share sound kayaknya. Nggak ada suaranya.
I can hear.
Sorry?
From here.
You guys can hear the voice?
No.
No, I'm
For the
sorry.
video is no.
Oh.
Di
For the
itu
video
There's
is
no
no.
sound here.
maaf. Sebelum share screen, checklist di pojok kiri bawah, share sound juga.
Could you repeat it, Opik?
Before you share the screen,
Yes.
you click the share audio column in pojok kiri bawah. Okay, thank you. Klik
Unmute.
the share screen first. Terus ntar muncul kan layarnya yang mau di-share, terus klik di bawah share audio.
Okay,
Oh,
you
I
can.
see.
Okay,
Thank you.
if you cannot do that, can we hear it? Please try again. Yes.
Did you guys hear it?
Yes,
Okay.
it's clear now.
Sama-sama.
Thank
It's
you,
a
Opik, for
river
the advice.
flow in here.
Now let's watch the performance from group 2. Here we go. That's all the performances.
Thank you for group 2 for the performance, and please give a big applause. Okay, now we're going to listen the answer from the questions.
Maybe I will take it first. May I, Mr. Attar?
Sure.
Okay. So I have a question from Muiz. Thank you for the question, and I will try to answer it as good as I can. So you said that a word has different meaning in different places, and that is right. It has no business with the theory that uh, words as meaningful building blocks of language. So we have to recognize our environment besides we use our words to inform people. As you said, when you say ciao in Garut, you find it different meaning in other places. And same goes with fire. When you are in the environment of a regular area like how to say perumahan, and that means the fire word, that is a warning that we have to be careful. But if we are in the war area, then fire means that is a shout, right? And I currently also find the same case in Japan. Megumi means someone's name, but in Indonesian it means rahmat. So that is how language is very diverse, and we have to recognize the culture of itself. So it has no other business with the theory that words as meaningful building blocks of language. It still has meanings, and we can understand it depending on where we find that word. I think that's all. I hope that my answer can satisfy Muiz. I'm so sorry if this is not clear. Maybe later on, Mr. Reddy will explain it deeper. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for Neng Tia who answered the questions from Muiz Fahdi. And next, we will listen the answer from questions Putri Nabila by Nauriyah Andini.
I'm so sorry. I haven't find the answer. Um, Maybe Mr. Reddy can explain us about a question from Putri Nabila, because I haven't find the answer. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for Nauriyah Andini. And next agenda is to listen the criticism and suggestion from Mr. Reddy. The time is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. The performance in our first talk show today, the first performance and the first intermezzo for today. And okay, I would like to give the comments from the first, the preparation, yeah, Attar and friends. Please be wise that if you are invited in some official invitation like this, yeah, Attar, Neng Tia, probably you have the good signal and the video. Please prepare. Okay, I have to suggest this because probably a few years later you will be invited as the speaker, the real speaker. Okay, when now we are still learning, you are here as the host. Okay, and then Nauriyah as speaker, Neng Tia as speaker. Probably later on, you will be the real speaker. So then you have to have the good preparation related to your videos, Attar, and your voice, and then our sense. Okay, our sense means we have to be critical about our sound, our camera, and then our gadget, our battery, and all related to this presentation, our talk show. Okay, please note that. Okay, we are still learning, but we have to do that. And then in the first video, I think this is a good video. You made yourself for our talk show, and then for this banner, I like the banner. And for the letter, Neng Tia and Nauriyah, we can suggest the next group. We have to mention your name, okay? Please, because we are learning, we learn how to be the good host, the good speaker. So this is MORPHTALK, okay? Presenting, featuring Neng Tia as the first speaker, Nauriyah as the second speaker. Neng Tia will talk about definition probably. Nauriyah will discuss about what topic. I think it would be the good banner, okay? And then I don't know whether you know proverb and idiom. This is not idiom because idiom is Indonesian idiom. English would be idiom. Okay, like identification, identify, identification. Probably because we are Indonesian and this is identitas, but English identity. Would you like to show identity? Identity, identify, and then idiom. Yes, I know idiom. You know idiom. Okay, that is for general. And the next would be the space. Okay, if you are asking, hello, apa kabar? Please give space for them to answer the the answer of your question, apa kabar or assalamualaikum. Please give space. As I said that some students probably forget that you are facing many persons here. So when you are saying, apa kabar kalian semuanya? Give space, okay? Yeah, probably you forget about that. And actually we have running about the time. We have Zuhur time. And I will ask Attar, okay? Not Putri Nabila. Attar, what is Nabila's question? Attar. Attar, are you here still?
Yes, sir.
Can you catch the main point of Putri Nabila's question? Just the main point. Okay. If this is
I
not
didn't listen that question,
okay,
sir. Sorry, I'm
Putri
sorry.
Nabila. Okay, Nauriyah, can you mention the main point of Putri Nabila's question, Nauriyah?
Yes, sir. Wait.
Did you write it?
Putri Nabila's question is, what is collocationally restricted meaning in idiom?
In idiom, okay.
In idiom.
Okay, that is your point. Okay, Neng Tia, what did you get from Putri Nabila's question? the question.
Putri Nabila asked about something that she never heard, how to say istilah, and the istilah is, what does it mean by collocationally restricted meaning of word?
Okay.
That's what I get.
Yeah. Thank you, Neng Tia and Nauriyah. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of our skill as the host. Okay, and I have to remind the students. Sometimes this is usual for you to say, Putri Nabila, would you like to repeat your question? This is not polite. Okay, to ask again, to repeat. Putri Nabila will say, aduh, gimana sih kamu? Okay, so please don't ask how to repeat. This is just the need of our point. That's why I am asking Attar, because the host, okay, probably Nauriyah, Neng Tia, or other will have the stage to be the host. You can just get the main point, okay? Not all about Putri Nabila's question. The main point is, okay, or you can say, okay, Putri Nabila, I get the question. You can say that. If Putri Nabila, aduh, what can I, the difference, okay, I get, do you ask that, what is the difference between, or you say something like that? This is the skill, okay? The host has the skill of convince the one who asked the question or getting the main point of the question. Please don't say to repeat the question. This is not polite. Okay. Okay. The first is from Putri Nabila. In the next semester, in the 6th semester, you will get the course of sociolinguistics. Okay. In this sociolinguistics, you will learn about collocation. Collocation means when Nauriyah and Neng Tia discuss about words, like they said fire. Okay, if this is fire, I am in fire, means I love you so much. Fire. You are my fire. Kamu adalah apiku. No, you are my fire. Or probably there is a truck or car. Fire, it means the other one. So this is unpredictable. It depends on the condition. Like in our social, it could be hujan. Okay, hujan for those who living in the coast. Okay, you know coast. Hujan means take your clothes because this is rain. There is no time to explain. Please take your clothes because this is rain. So someone just say rain, hujan, hujan. Everybody get out and take the clothes. Okay, but in dictionary this is not stated that hujan means we have to take our clothes. Okay, this is not stated. This is the same like what Putri Nabila collocation. It means that fire or the other word, it would be different. Okay, in phonology we are learning about the sound. In morphology we learn morph or words, but in collocation, like I said in the other occasion, kamu itu bisa kamu, bisa anda, bisa antum, bisa maneh. It depends on the social setting, Putri Nabila. That is collocation. You know that anda is a word, antum is a word. But when someone says antum, the meaning is different. Probably Putri Nabila, antum mau sholat di mana? Antum, kok dia nanya antum ya ke saya? Antum has a different meaning, okay? Like apabila Anda mau, Anda ya, Pak Dedi nyebutnya Anda. Kamu sih, bisa kamu, bisa maneh. It would be different, okay? The meaning is different. Collocation means that the word is connected to some community. Collocation, okay? Colloquial. And from Muiz, if we are learning English morphology, Indonesian morphology, Sundanese morphology, it means that we have to exclude the other languages. You said that Sao in Sundanese is here and in Japanese. This is different morphology. Okay, in morphology, we learn about particular language. Like if this is Sao, we are discussing Sao, but in Sundanese morphology. There is no relationship between other languages. In our discussion, could be Sao Ambon, Sao Muli, Sao Raja, Sao, different Sao. It could be our morphology. Is it idiom? Is it a phrase? Is it proverb? Or is it just the phrase? Sao Ambon, or Sao Kipas, or Sao Muli. Okay, so in morphology, we are learning the internal structure of morpheme. Okay, thank you, Putri Nabila and Muiz, and the performance.
Sorry, sir. But I give another example. Is like a fire. Fire is refers to house is burning, or fire is we there in the battlefield. It's a lot. Is the meaning is a bomb. The meaning is a gun, shotgun. And what we building a bridge about the words and their meaning.
Okay. Yeah. What about Neng Tia and Nauriyah talks about the words in fire? The discussion is about predictable and unpredictable. Probably this is hard for us as Indonesians to say that slide or slip is, this is natural. Probably in Sudanese, if you are from Cirebon, is, aduh, gubrag. Jelotot, okay. Probably this is easy for us because we are native. Jelotot means something like that condition. Or gubrag. What is gubrag? What the meaning of gubrag? For English, this is hard to have the meaning of gubrag. But for us, gubrag gedebru. Okay, there is gubrag, gedebru, or the other words that is about the natural and easy to predict. Okay, for English, burn of house, burn of like fire. This is about fire, fireman, and shoot. You are my fire. Probably if we have to translate into Indonesian or Sundanese, this is hard to translate fire because for native, fire is the condition of fire. If we learn how to nativize because we learn English. But this is predictable. Muiz, this is just for example. Muiz di rumah punya ayam nggak?
Punya.
Punya. Kamu tadi pagi makan ayam nggak?
Enggak.
Enggak. Okay. Please listen to me. The first ayam and the second ayam would have the different meaning. Neng Tia, Nauriyah, Putri Nabila. Can you guess the first and the second meaning of ayam, of my word? Kamu punya ayam nggak di rumah? Punya. Can you describe ayam and then the second, kamu tadi pagi makan ayam nggak? Enggak. What is the difference? When I say the same words, but the meaning is different as a native. Putri Nabila, can you say, describe the first ayam is what form and then the second is in what form, Putri Nabila?
Kalau kata saya ya Pak, di form yang pertama ayamnya masih hidup gitu. Kamu punya ayam, iya melihara ayam misalnya. Nah terus kalau yang form yang kedua, kamu makan sama ayam, berarti ayamnya udah mati gitu, udah diolah, udah jadi makanan, beda lagi. Kalau yang pertama ayam binatang, yang kedua ayam makanan gitu Pak.
Okay, thank you. Good question. Good answer. Okay, Muiz, probably for us as a native, you cannot ask me, do you think, sir, that ayam is, okay, you cannot ask me because as a native, Ya, kamu punya ayam? Ya, punya ayam. Tadi makan ayam? Enggak. Naturally, you do understand what I mean. Muiz, can you understand my statement?
Okay, sir, I get it.
Yeah, so it means that when you said fire in house or fireman or fire shoot, for English as a native, this is natural to understand, to predict the meaning. Although this is not stated in dictionary, this is easy. Like what I said, hujan. Putri Nabila hujan. Ya Pak, nanti jemurannya diangkat. Saya ngomong hujan kok, wah, meaningnya malah jemuran diangkat. Apa kaitannya? But they know the meaning naturally. Okay? Okay, Muiz? Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Okay, Neng Tia, Nauriyah Andini, and Putri Nabila and Muiz, thank you for our discussion. We have out of the time. I'm so sorry for the limitation of the time. I invite you to the next group, and we have the other more interesting discussion. And this is enough for me. I am happy today because we have the amazing discussion for today. Thank you, and I close with billahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Thank
wabarakatuh.
you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.